Hello viewers, welcome to Core for Any. Real-time car trackings, Flutters inside today need to see this here the car running simulations need to show here. Here also call this here the two API. Post methods need to post REST API need to call here car joins and to get this here the all connected cars list need to get here and to set this here the car markers and then after the update gets here the location manager inside the new location to pounds inside then we need to call this here the API and to receive this here the other users car movements socket need to listen here and update these positions as markers smoothly like this need to scenario need to see this here first of all need to declare here the two node socket events and two API calls need to declare here. Now, first of all, need to set here the name static const nv means nocket node service. Need to give this here the car join name is equal to need to set here titles here the car join semicolons and static const nv car update locations is equal to need to write down here the car update locations. This is the node socket events need to listen here and now need to write down here the calling here the post methods sv car join and to get this here the all connected car list need to get here for this API calling need to at the rate page URLs need to set here and to again so need to give this here the node car joins like this need to set here and another static const sv car update location is equal to need to write down here the dollar base URLs dollars need to set this here the nv car update locations like this need to two events and two API calls URLs need to write down here. Now first of all need to go inside the location managers and to declare here the one variable for the car rotation degree need to save here need to use this here the double variables and to give this here the car degree set this here the zero point 0 like this configures and then after we need to find out here the stream subscribes for the changing locations need to find out here the set here's car maybe here issue car degree cars car degree over here this variable names and to set here is equal to need to find out here the calculate degree start spawns need to give this here the previous locations and old locations and find out here the new location as a end points need to set here now need to set here the let and to give this here the current positions optionals latitudes if not get then to set here 0 same as current positions optionals longitudes if not get then to zero point 0.0 like this sets here same as now need to pass here the end point positions inside we need to give this here the let and long declares here give this here position variables dot latitudes and longitudes for set years like this years. Now we need to calls here the API calls we need to needs here for the sending for the server and other users need to listen this event the this car locations are the change and to updates here the maps. That's why I need to call this here the one API. We need to write down here to do and to write down here the API calling and we need to call this here the void API calling car update location like this. Need to calls. Now need to write down here the API calls. Need to set here the service call. This is the class names, and to call this here the post methods. Now need to paste here the needed parameters. First of all, need this here the UUID for the user universal ID. Need to set here the service call dot UUID like this past years. Then after need to give this here the let value. Need to give this here the current position. So need to create here bracket to string. You need to convert. Now need to write down here current positions. Optionals need to dot latitudes. If not, get them to 0.0 set like this years. Same as now need to copy, and to long we need to set here the longitudes L ng like years, and down here the longitudes. And another parameters need to give this here the degree. Need to write down here the degree long and degree. We need to set here car degree to string. We need to past years. And last parameters as a socket ID underscore ID is equal to need to write down here the socket managers, not socket message, socket manager dots need to share, and to sockets optionals gets here ID. If not get, then to set here the blank value need to past years. Now need to give this here the service calls URLs need to give, need to use this here the SV key, and to set this here the car update location. So need to call here. Now need to get this here the success block and failure blocks. Need to response object, and the since methods need to call here. Same as the failure. If equals anytime fails, get this here error. The since methods like this calls, and to write down here. If gets here the error, then to write down here the debug print, and to print this here the error log dot to string like this printing here. And now need to check here the response object a dot status equal to string 1, else parts need to else. This is the success. Now need to printing here the error payload message response object, and to showing here the key dot message as string. If not get, then to write down here the msg dot success like here. If not, then to show this here the error message. If not getting, then to show this here the fail message. Like this configurations for the needs modifications inside the location managers. Now here work is complete for the location managers, and to sending this here the user change locations in servers, and server automatically fire the all user the broadcast, and to receiving this here the socket we need to write down like these codes inside the map screens. First of all need to remove here the old codes. Now no needs, because need to only the explaining here the animations of the car moving. That's why need to set this here the current locations need to use this here. Now no needs here the marker sets need to remove here. Also need to commit this codes add markers. No needs to need to commit this codes. Also need to commit this here the add markers. No needs this codes. Now need to write down here the multiple cars need to showing one by one joining cars. All cars need to show inside the map, and updating the current locations of the cars, and rotating the cars and animations and smoothly. Now first of all, so need to declare here the some data types. So need to use this here the manage every times. Need to write down here the map. To write down here the map inside string, and to give this here the markers. we need to set like this here the sets and to give this here the name users car array, and we need to write down here the blank sets like this. We need to write down here. Then after I need to calling this here the one API and to register these cars and to get this here the all connected cars list and to set as a markers we still inside these variables. Now need to write down first of all the API calls. Now need to copy inside the location managers. Now need to copy here to go inside the map screens and to paste this here the after years. And now need to write down here the car join, change this here the API names, and also need to change this here the import this needed files. Also need to set here the current positions, remove this value here to string, copy and to paste this here, removing here like these settings, formatting here. Need to give this here the locations, rotations, location manager dot share. Need to call this here the card degree to imports here the socket managers and to change this here the API card joins, and now need to get this here the response. First of all need to call this API here's after the init here like here's. Now need this here the markers declarations. We need to copy this here and need to use here. First of all now need to check here the response. If response object need to status 1, then inside we need to get this here the payloads response object and to get this here the payload e dot payloads and to response. Now as we need to get this here the app objects optionals, if not then like this, and to call this here the for each loops. Need to get here the two value, first one is the key and second one is the value. Key means we need to getting this here the UDID, and value inside into user object need to locations latitude longitude degree and UDID inside the value inside show. And now like this we need to get here and to give this here the value declares like years and to set this years. Now we need to paste this here the this marker codings. Now need to set here the markers as need to set here the key dot to string, and against this users need to set this here the markers, need to cut this value and commit this codes, removing here set the semicolons like this. And now need to first of all the marker ID need to create, give this here the key to string, need to set here like here. Then after we need to set here the positions, need to set here the latitude longitudes, need to set here the double try to parse. If not get this here the value, then to set here 0.0. Now need to set here the value and need to give this here the ename as a let and long as to string, to write down here to string. Same as now need to copy and to set here the long value like this, and remove here the rotations need to already gets inside the service. Now need to copy and paste this here and now to pass this here the degree key like here, and like this configurations are the needs. And after these configurations we need to check here the if mounted and to set states we need to call this here the events. Like this, you need to calling to gets and registers here and to alts cars need to show inside the maps, and also need to write down here the user cars values and to set need to call here and to set like this here the error fix. Now also need to write down here the socket listens need this here need to write down here the socket listener. First of all, need to set this here the socket manager share and to check here the socket objects and to on methods need to call here. First parameters need to give this here the event name sv key dots nv car joins. You need to give this here the key names, and now need to get this here the data in these sockets. Same as write down here, and to this data we need to check here is the valid so or not. So need to check this here the data dot key dot status equal 1, then to success, otherwise else socket. Now need to call this here the one functions and to update these locations inside this particulars users need to find and to update this marker value and to set this here the set states. Now need to here two socket are the listens. First of all, the new car joins listens, and also need to listen this here the update cars need to same as need to copy and paste and to change this here the event name sv car update locations. Now need to write down here the one functions here, and inside we need to write a void update other car location, and to pass this here the map object as a objects like this sets here. Now same as now need to copy this value because we need to update like this here, and also need to copy against this mount value and set states are the needs here for the updatings. Now need to change this here the value to object, and also need to set here the uuid like this here, and again need to copy to paste this like these modifications are the needs. Now call this here the events inside the success here's need to write down here past here the data dot payload as we need to parse here the map like this sets against copy and to paste this inside the update car locations. Like this coding are the needs and to suit animations of the many cars to showing here. Now need to runs inside the two simulators need to started. First one is the simulators here the iPhone 15 plus and iPhone 15s. Now need to run anyone first and to check this here. Now need to run this app. And like this here the updating the locations need to get here. Maybe here forgets here the join car or here the response. Why? Restart here. Need to check your response successfully. Need to this here. But update locations not working. Go inside the managers. Need to check the CPI calls right here. Here forget. That's why. Need to call here API. Save here. And now need to go inside the here's restart this app, and now need to check again Now this car are the moving because we need to getting this here the our users, and here another cars here is not moving because here the not moving, not getting here the locations, that's why not moving here. Now need to run against this app inside the iOS 15. Now need to start in debugs, check here. Now here get these locations and to this simulators location sending here, need to check here like both car are moving here. You're seeing this the smooth animations and working goods every place. If you like this video, please give the thumbs up. If you're new user, so please subscribe my channels and press the notification bell icon. You can get every new video notifications and awesome content. If you have any question, so please write down the comment sections. I will help you and sort out your issue. Everyone have a nice day. Goodbye and take care.